Do you feel like technology is literally running your life? We're at a point now where your phone has become so addicting that you can't think clearly. You can't concentrate on anything for more than a second, and I would even argue it's destroying your ability to invest and create wealth long term. That's what we're gonna get into in this video today, but before we do that, if you like my content, you love my content, slam on that like button, subscribe to my channel, click the notification key so you can get all my fresh new content. But let's get into it. No further ado, let's talk about how technology is disrupting our life, how we can reverse the script, take control of our life again, and control technology as opposed to technology controlling us. So now that COVID's actually winding down, depending where you are in the world, here in New York City, the world has opened up, it's summertime, Washington Square Park, it's actually kind of magical. And what you found is, you're going from what I call this world of just like digital interactions all day, on Zoom, on your phone, till all of a sudden you're on the other extreme of getting back into what I would call real world, physical interactions where you're actually out again with people, you're seeing people, you're talking to people, you're not in front of a goddamn screen. And you would think intuitively, well, we're getting back to normal. That should just be normal to go out and interact again with people. That's what we're built to do. But I'm guessing it's a lot harder than you think. You're probably feeling this like weird uncomfortableness being out in the physical world again. It's almost like having some sort of like withdrawal symptoms, because let's be honest, when we were home in lockdown, we would sit on our phone, we'd mindlessly thumb through and scroll through pictures, all those little red notifications just hypnotically going through as our brain gets rewired to get all these little dopamine spikes of whatever exciting Instagram story has been put in front of you, to the next Instagram story, to the next story, and the next story, TikTok, whatever it happens to be, that it's almost jarring to go out and have a normal conversation again. Now, not being able to focus has so many negative impacts on your life, and I can correlate this to even investing. Not being able to focus is terrible if you're trying to be an investor and trying to create wealth. I know this. I run a firm here out of New York City, Payne Capital Management. I literally manage over $1 billion. I've been doing this for 20 years, and when you're not able to focus as an investor, it's a horrible recipe for disaster. So even though it seems almost harmless to look at your phone, check out the messages that you actually have all the time, it's really taking away from your ability to have clarity, achieve your goals, and even create wealth. This is a problem you've got to handle. You've got to get on top of this. You've got to fix this now. So what you have to remember is all this technology, or the advent of the smartphone, is relatively new. The first iPhone only came out just a little over a decade ago. And I can remember 10 years ago, your smartphone really wasn't that smart. You couldn't even stream a song. You know, maybe you could text message on a really fancy phone. You could actually email. You could make phone calls. Shocking. But you really couldn't do that much on your actual smartphone. You would have to go home, get on the internet to surf the World Wide Web. So it gave a lot of time not to be thinking about getting on your phone. In fact, you wouldn't even think about it. I could sit and read a book, just totally get immersed in that book, and I had nothing distracting me. But what's happened over the last decade is the technology has just got better and better, and we have more legitimate reasons to actually get on our phone. Like, you can read a book on your phone now. You don't need a physical book to do that. You can actually do banking on your phone. You can trade stocks on your phone. So the reasons to go over and grab your phone and look at it have just become innumerable over the course of the last 10 years. Now, what's happened is, when you're sitting down, you can probably attest to this, you're working on a project, is every time you get distracted with an email, you get distracted with some kind of notification on your phone, or that siren song of those little red alerts just to check what's going on Instagram. Well, every time you do that, it starts to slowly destroy your ability to concentrate. And there's studies have been done on this. You start out with a full glass in the morning of concentration, and every time you go away to your phone and you stop concentrating, it's harder and harder to focus. And you may attest to this if it's a day where you're just completely just totally ruined by your phone, totally on it. By the end of the day, sometimes you can't even read an email because your focus is absolutely in tatters. Now, technology's done the same thing with your stock apps. You have apps like Robinhood that they've literally built like a casino. Like they put confetti up when you buy a stock. They have those notifications. It's like a gambling app. And you now have the ability and all the alerts to look at your stocks and your crypto at every second of the day and give you lots of reasons to buy and sell stocks. Now, it's kind of like investing when you're trading it all the time or your investments all the time. It's like a bar of soap. The more you touch it, the smaller and smaller it gets. Well, that's what happens when you keep transacting over and over again on your wealth, hoping to get rich when really you're just diminishing your wealth over time. The statistics have proven it. 80% of day traders eventually lose money. So if you're a gambler, there are horrible odds. 80% and 75% of day traders after 2 years just quit because it's a game you can't win. So the phone is one. It's disrupted us in ways that are literally stopping us from being able to focus to be successful in our career. And when it comes to wealth building, again, the distractions and the way they built these apps have actually built it so you will fail and lose wealth. And that's why you've got to start to put strategies in place to actually get the phone from distracting and hijacking your brain so you can retain that autonomy and finally get to where you need to get to. Okay, I think we have firmly established that technology is controlling us, disrupting us, not the other way around. So the question is, how do we turn the tables? How do we get ourselves to disrupt technology to get our clarity and focus back? I'm going to give you 2 strategies you can apply right now to start weaning yourself off or that powerful bond between you and your smartphone. Number 1, put your phone in another room. When you're sitting down and have to concentrate, maybe you're working on a project for work or for school. Like, for example, on Sundays, I write my market commentary. I'm talking about things like GDP, inflation, interest rates, dry stuff. But I need all the concentration to articulate my points and think about the macro economy. You can't do that lightly. I literally put the phone in another room. I turn it off so that when I'm getting that urge while I'm typing away to look at my phone, it's not there. I can't just grab it. It's a powerful tool. And you can even apply this to the bedroom at night. Put it in another room. Don't go to bed looking at your smartphone because it's literally disrupting your sleep. It's putting you into a more agitated state. And when you wake up in the morning, you don't want to just look at your phone. You want to be present with the day. And by doing that, it's going to make you less apt to start the day off continually looking at your phone because you didn't start the day doing that. Simple, it works, you need to do it. Number 2, when you're actually in front of your laptop or you're in front of your tablets, when you're actually doing that deep work, turn the Wi-Fi off. This is actually crazy. When you're actually working, you'll find yourself doing this, going to like your favorite site like YouTube, unless it's my video, then you can watch over and over again. Just a joke. Go to YouTube, all of a sudden the Wi-Fi is off. I can't watch a video. Now, the crazy thing about that is you won't even remember that you were actually going to that site. It was so subconscious to go to those different sites that you like to scroll on that you don't even remember why you went there in the first place. Like, I have no idea why I was going to YouTube, and by blocking it and realizing that the screen doesn't come up or the YouTube doesn't come up, it's a reminder that you have all these other operating systems that are running you, and you've got to break yourself from that, and this is the perfect way to do that. Turn it off if you need to look something up on the internet. Wait till the end when you've already done your project, then you can go back and research what information that you need. But that's a critical way to do it. Now, the same thing with your investment portfolio is stop looking at your stocks every single day. Stop incessantly checking the portfolio values. There's no value in that. In fact, if you're a long-term strategic investor, and investing is about the long term, buying something today for the long-term value of it going up later on, I would say go to monthly. At a pro level, go quarterly. And think about this. Last year we had the pandemic. If you decide at the beginning of the year, you know what, I'm going to check my stock portfolio, then I'm going to go to a deserted island, be completely removed from technology, what's going on in the world. I'm going to come back at the end of the year, I'm going to check my stock portfolio and just see how I did. Well, if you were in a diversified portfolio that had stocks in there, bonds, you were actually up for the year. So you would have come back at the end of the year and be like, wow, what a great year. The market was up, I did well, excellent. Well, what if you stayed here on Earth, in society, and actually watched your portfolio daily last year? Well, we had a pandemic, the world shut down, your portfolio would have plummeted. You would have freaked out. Then it would have had this magnificent move up at the end of the year to higher values, but it was so tumultuous, it was so emotional, and really, had you just ignored all of it, you would have been better off at the end of the year. So it's just so counterintuitive. It doesn't help you to constantly watch those values, constantly feel like you have to do something. It's only giving you the temptation to start to trade and diminish your wealth from trying to trade on information that's meaningless to your long-term goals. So these are two critical strategies. I want you to start applying them right now. The quicker you start applying these different strategies to your focus and to your investments, the quicker you're gonna get on track to living the life that you've always dreamed that you wanted to live. So you've watched, you've learned, and hopefully you've gleaned some good information from this video today, but I just want you to be aware of the fact that your attention span is being hijacked and it affects a lot of facets of your life, whether it be life goals, whether it be your investment strategy, and invariably your phone is sucking you into the minutia, into the micro, when you want to start thinking on a more macro level with more focus and clarity, and to do that, you have to wean yourself off of technology. So I hope you enjoyed the content today, hope you love it, hope you dig it. Don't be shy, click on that like button, subscribe to my channel if you find this valuable, click that notification key so you can be notified of all my new great content coming your way. That's it for today. Stay loose and keep an open mind.